What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin Bees. I am a wife, a mom, a military veteran, and I spent 13 and a half years in multi-level marketing, healed my way out, and now I'm using all of my social media platforms to educate and raise awareness around the dangers of multi-level marketing companies and the tactics used by the reps trying to recruit you and sell you an overpriced product. If you're brand new, what is up? If you've been here a while, appreciate you guys. I really am grateful for every view, every comment, every like, everybody that subscribes. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you so much. Shout out to all of the members. You guys are amazing, and I'm so grateful for our Discord. All right, let's get into this. First of all, follow me on social media if you're not already. Let's get connected over there. It's a lot of fun, in my opinion. I don't know. And today we're going to talk about something that I think comes up so much, and it's you know how you see MLMers that are shaming people for sharing their favorite Starbucks drink, their favorite coffee that's not through an MLM, or their favorite restaurant. They're like, you guys are out here sharing all of this stuff and you're not even getting paid for it. Ironic, because many of them are not getting paid for them sharing their posts in social media, but we'll talk about that at another time. I was sent these screenshots. I guess that's the best way. And I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to back it up with some facts from the FTC. And before I really dive into this, if you hear any kind of background noise, we're still having our roof worked on. So please bear with me if you can hear anything in the background. I'll do my best to blur it out. Okay. So let's talk about this real quick. I have some screenshots. Drop your commentary below. We're going to go through the comments. We're going to go through the posts. And the purpose of this is not to shame the individual that is sharing this. The purpose is to educate on how they are going about all of this. And I guess I don't want to say mindset, but I'm going to say mindset, because I can remember a time when I was in an MLM, I would have done this very same thing. And I think that it's important that we talk about this, because what they're doing is they're using fallacies to compare two things that absolutely have nothing in common. So let's check it out together. Okay, this is the post that I was sent, the screenshot. Shout out to you guys that send me this stuff. I appreciate you so much. And if there's anything that you would like to send me, the best way to do it is to screenshot it, download it, whatever, upload to a Google Drive, and then share it with my email. My email is erin_bees@yahoo.com. All right, this is the post. And just like that, everyone is advertising for McDonald's, yet thinks network marketing is a scam. We're just going to go through some of the comments, and then I'm going to give you my commentary. But this is that same mindset. We've seen it from Colleen at No Shame Sales Game, sharing your Starbucks drink. By the way, what is your favorite Starbucks drink? If you're a coffee drinker, or whatever your favorite coffee place is, what's your coffee order? Just for fun, drop it in the comments. All right, let's look at some of the comments. Okay, this is the screenshot of the comments here. The first one is from the author of said post that I just showed you. And she says, get on out of here with your small-mindedness. Small-mindedness. Is it small-mindedness, or is it people are starting to get educated on what multi-level marketing is and the ways that people within these companies market it and how they use social retail, network marketing, social selling, and all of these other terms, trying to get around the fact that it's multi-level marketing. So is it really small-mindedness, or is it education and you're salty that somebody's not going to join your, in my opinion, commercial cult? I don't know. What do you guys think? You laugh because you know it's true. I so do. Let's not forget pumpkin spice latte. I love a good pumpkin spice latte. Oh, I love it. It's so good. Amen. Can I steal this? These are probably all people in the company. By the way, this person is an elomir. Shocker. And then there's people that trash us further. First of all, people that are speaking out against MLMs are not trashing you personally. I'm not trashing you personally on this video. I am educating. I'm talking about the methods and tactics that are used by people just like what we're seeing here in the screenshots, that are trying to recruit people. These are people that probably are seeing their friends that are sharing the adult Happy Meals, the Halloween Happy Meals. I love that. I think that's so cute. And it's nostalgic for a lot of people. And when people are sharing stuff like that, they're sharing it because they genuinely love it. There's no ulterior motive that's hidden in this, getting to know you type messages in the inbox. They're just sharing these things because they love it. It's like if I wanted to share my shirt because maybe there's some fellow Taurians out there, right? They're comparing these things, and they are two completely different things. McDonald's does not require people to recruit other people in order to make a substantial income. There's not even a comp plan when it comes to it. And if you're working for McDonald's, you get paid an hourly wage based off of your time, energy, and effort that you were there as long as you're clocked in. These are two very different things. They have nothing in common, but they're upset because, in my opinion, MLMers are so obsessed with monetizing everything. Now, you should be paid for your time, energy, and effort. But if your time, energy, and effort is going to promoting and finding, in my opinion, sneaky ways to market your multi-level marketing company, where according to the FTC, over 99% of people lose money or don't make any at all. Yikes. So let's continue to read some of these comments. And then there's people that trash us further, and she's got a screenshot. She's cut out people. I'm not going to read that, but it's basically somebody educating, in my opinion, on exactly what they're saying here. They reacted to her comment saying that, people are promoting this thing for McDonald's, but they're saying that MLM is a scam. Well, in my opinion, MLM is a scam, and it is predatory. And it is, in my opinion, again, based off of the time, energy, and effort of other people. If you look at any of these comp plans and you compare the money, and I've said this again, and I'm going to say it again over and over again. If you look at the money that you make from the sale of a product, the commission from the sale of a product, and you compare it to bonuses and things like that from recruiting somebody into an MLM, and I'm going to talk about some of the specifics here in a second, there's a drastic difference. What does that create within these companies? It creates this pressure to recruit, because if people are starting an online side hustle, if you will, like they like to refer this as, and they're wanting to make money for their family, of course they're going to do the things that make them the most money, which is recruiting. So yeah, anyways, I kind of went off on a tangent there. Let's keep going. There's more screenshots. Okay, this is another one, and it says, well, okay then, everyone's opinions matter. However, they don't pay our bills. Keep doing you, girlfriend, and get the haters out of your space. It's not hating, it's educating, it's raising awareness. And the reason that I think MLMers say, well, you're just a hater, is because they don't want to buy off, or we don't want to buy off on what it is that you're trying to do. So it's easier to say you're a hater and to block and to do all of that kind of stuff that we see than to say, well, they just weren't interested. Yeah. I heard the buckets are crap. I think the buckets are cute. You guys let me know in the comments if you have grabbed one for yourself or your kids, or acted like you're getting one for your kids, but it's really for you. Let me know in the comments. Let's see. She says, right, LOL. I'd love to listen to this, you guys. I'd love to open some minds to the golden avenue. Is she saying that MLMs are a golden avenue? Golden avenue to who? Oh, I know. The people that get in early. Got it. Because we're talking about elomir here, right? No, it's not for the people who want to get rich. It's not for the people who want get rich quick schemes, but there's real life-changing income in this industry for those who know the meaning of grit. That's not it. That's absolutely not it. There's real income in this industry, like she's referring it to, for the people that are at the top, the people that are recruiting a ton of people, the people that get in early, the people with lots of followers that all of a sudden bait and switch their followers. That's where the real money is. And that's the entire problem. That's what the anti-MLM movement is screaming about. If you're making more money off of recruiting people than you are off the sale of the product, but you're trying to present it in a way like it's, social retail, or excuse me, or it's affiliate marketing, when there's a whole side of the comp plan that you're just not telling people about. That, by the way, in my opinion, that's lying by omission. That's gross. And why do you have to use all of these other terms? Then call it what it is, multi-level marketing. Just don't be deceptive. So then somebody asks, what's this all about? And she goes on to say, network marketing profession. Somebody said they're sharing. Please do. We're in such a time where people need to know there is a way to help themselves. So now that we've gone through the comments, now that we've gone through the post, I've given a little bit of my thoughts and opinions on this. Let's talk about the differences between MLMs and sharing things like McDonald's, specifically the MLMs. So in MLMs, the thing that they don't mention in black and white is that you get paid for selling a product and you get paid for recruiting team members. Now, some of these comp plans are a little bit sneakier when it comes to the recruiting aspect, because you'll see people that say, oh, well, I don't get paid to recruit. But then you'll see that they get paid off of their downlines sales. They get maybe bonuses when they do sign up somebody, or maybe they're having a corporate contest where for every recruit that you sign this month, you get X, Y, and Z. They get paid off of their group volume, their team volume, those types of things. So they have a really deceptive way of talking about recruiting. But for the most part, they get paid in some way, shape, or form for the majority of these companies off of recruiting people, whether it's bonuses for signing them up, a commission off of the sale of a business starter package, or getting paid off of their team sales moving forward. They're benefiting in some way, shape, or form from recruiting. Now, the amount of work that you compare to being in an MLM and the money that you're making versus, let's just use this as if you worked at McDonald's. Let's say that you worked at McDonald's, you clock in, you do your thing, and then you clock out and you go home at the end of the day. You're not sitting typically at home thinking about work and what needs to happen the next day, unless maybe you're in management or something like that, or there's some issues, at work that you're trying to work through. You go in, you do your job, you come home, you get paid for your time. If you're in a full-time position, a lot of those positions have benefits and those types of things. And you have all of this time freedom outside of work. But in an MLM, you are working constantly, whether that's on social media, planning lives, planning your content in general, following up with people, customers, all of that stuff, trying to recruit people, trying to work with your team. You're constantly working. You get shamed, in my opinion, based off of my experience, if you're, not present as much as you can be. It's really, really crazy. And so when you compare, okay, you get an hourly wage from McDonald's. Cool. You clock in, you do your thing, you go home. Versus in an MLM, okay, I'm going to do my own thing, but you compare the amount of time that you're working on a weekly, monthly, annually, whatever basis, and you figure out your hourly wage, you're working for pennies. And I know that there's a lot of people that are going to say, hey, that's sales. Yes, that's sales. Absolutely. But traditional sales jobs are not necessarily trying to recruit people because they make more money. Traditional sales jobs are not putting up posts like this that we've seen, trying to recruit people into their commercial cult. You don't see people in sales jobs that are changing their entire persona on social media, changing their language, changing what they're talking about the opportunity all the time. The people in a sales job, they develop relationships. They sell what they need to sell. They talk to who they need to talk to. And then at the end of the day, they go home just like any other traditional job. So just keep that in mind. There's also, when you think of time that you are spending building an MLM, I already kind of gave some examples about social media going live. There's also in-person events. There's company training events. There's sometimes there's regional training events. All of these things cost money, take time and energy. And those are things that are not typically accounted for. That's why we see in a lot of these income disclosure statements that it's before expenses. Well, some of these things that I just listed are expenses. And so if you look at some of the income from these income disclosure statements that come directly from the companies, and you look at some of this, and then you look at the hours they work, and you look at some of the stuff that they have to do on a daily basis, the money that it just doesn't make any sense at all. And then when you subtract the expenses, this is why I say on my channel that there's a lot of people that are in the red and don't even realize it. So keep that in mind. I just feel like all of this kind of adds into a very specific type of manipulation. Okay, so now that we've talked about that, let's now talk about some of the definitions of a pyramid scheme, or MLMs, that type of thing. This comes directly from the FTC. I have provided the link where I pulled all this, took these screenshots and stuff so that you guys can check it out. And let's talk about it. Okay, this first one is the definition of what are MLMs and how do they work. This, again, comes directly from the FTC. MLM companies sell their products or services through person-to-person sales. That means you're selling directly to other people, maybe from your home, a customer's home, or online. If you join an MLM program, the company may refer to you as an independent distributor, a participant, or contractor. Most MLMs say that you can make money two ways. The first way, by selling the MLM's products, yourself, to retail customers who are not involved in the MLM. The second way is by recruiting new distributors and earning commissions based on what they buy and their sales to retail customers. Your recruits, the people they recruit, and so on, become your sales network or downline. If the MLM is not a pyramid scheme, it will pay you based on your sales to retail customers without having to recruit new distributors. Let's talk about that for just a second, because that is one thing that I see a lot. I know you guys probably do too, where people that are in an MLM say, well, pyramid schemes are illegal. We see it all the time. They say that and they're like, you don't typically have a product if it's a pyramid scheme. That's actually not the case. And that comes directly from the FTC. But the part that's interesting, and I kind of already touched on this earlier, where it's saying, well, hey, if an MLM is not a pyramid scheme, it will pay you based on your sales to customers and not having to recruit new distributors. And in my opinion, the way that these companies get around it is by, well, you can hit the first three ranks of the company without having to have a team. But in order to hit that fourth rank, you have to have a team. And when you look at the income disclosure statements and you compare the income for those ranks, you see that a person in the first three ranks is typically not making a ton of money. And it's really when you start having a team, when you start recruiting, is when you make the most money. So I think that that's how they kind of get around that. But pyramid schemes absolutely exist. And they do have products that they sell. And it's really the comp plans that I want to encourage you guys to look at if you're using this kind of as a resource video, if you will. Because if you look at the comp plans and you see that you make a little tiny bit off of the sale of the product versus the bonuses or the corporate contests or whatever from the company to recruit, that should be your big red flag. All right, let's keep reading. Most people who join legitimate MLMs make little or no money. Some of them lose money. In some cases, people believe they've joined a legitimate MLM, but it turns out to be an illegal pyramid scheme that steals everything they invest and leaves them deeply in debt. Okay, that's straight from the FTC. And again, the link for this you can find in the video description. There's one other thing that I want to cover from the FTC, and it's how to identify or the warning signs, if you will, of a pyramid scheme. So I'm going to pop that up here. Here are some warning signs of a pyramid scheme. Promoters making extravagant promises about your earning potential. Stop. These promises are false. So those are basically like money claims. Like, look what my, look at this $1 million home that I have that my business paid for. All of those kind of financial claims and income claims and stuff like that we see them trying to flex on social media. Sign it might be a pyramid scheme. Okay. Promoters emphasize recruiting new distributors for your sales network as the real way to make money. Walk away. In a legitimate MLM program, you should be able to make money just by selling the product. By the way, if your leader tells you that recruiting is the answer, that fits right in with this. Promoters play on your emotions or use high pressure sales tactics, maybe saying you'll lose the opportunity if you don't act now, and discouraging you from taking time to study the company. Leave by the nearest exit. Any company that tries to pressure you to join is one to avoid. Yes. The emotional manipulation, I think that spiritual and faith-based manipulation fits into this. I think that this is why I know that I used to say this too when I was in an MLM and I thought I was doing a good thing. You can talk to your partner later. It's always easier to apologize than, to ask for permission. I think that that's disgusting. I think we need to stay out of people's relationships for sure. And it's just another way to manipulate people into joining. That high pressure sales, the talking super fast, having a one-liner for everything. It's the manipulation for me. So the last part says that distributors buy more products than they want to use or can resell, just to stay active in the company or to qualify for bonuses or other rewards. If you see this happening, keep your money. Front loading, right? We see it all the time in all of these companies that say that they don't front load. They have product, in their videos, in their lives, where they just have all of this product on the shelves. We see it all the time I don't want to say all the companies, but a lot of the companies. It happens. This is a sign, hey, this could be a pyramid scheme, because there are pyramid schemes. There are MLM companies. This is coming straight from the FTC that are acting as pyramid schemes. So I find that very interesting. Okay, now let's talk about specifically this person, not this person, but the company that this person is in. She is in elomir. So she probably got in early. We watched all of the pre-launch thing. There's this new trend where there's MLM builders, if you will, people that were in previous MLMs that are starting to open up their own MLM companies. They're the co-founder, they're the chief sales officer, Danielle Mioli of Awakened. And in my opinion, just because you were a top builder in that company does not mean that you are qualified and have the skill set to be a CEO, a CSO, or a co-founder that's making decisions on these companies. In fact, I think it's quite the opposite. We saw elomir. We saw all of this stuff happen. We saw how they were going about it. We saw the health claims. We saw the bragging on promoting, all of these ranks. We saw them waive a part of their comp plan that requires them to have customers. That is a requirement by the FTC to have a certain amount of customers, a ratio of customers to distributors within the company. And I find it really interesting because elomir was one of those companies that was bragging about how many distributors, but where are the amount of customers? Because it's not really shared that I have seen, or that anybody has shared with me, that they're bragging about having just as many customers, if not more. In fact, the last update I saw was that they had 3 distributors to 1 customer, allegedly. That's literally the opposite of what the FTC wants. And in my opinion, it's because they started out as a pyramid scheme where they hyped it up and, they made all of these claims and, oh my God, we're going to make so much money. We're going to help so many people. And then people like myself started to educate people on what was going on and what it is, researching the ingredients and the proprietary blend and all of that stuff. And I think people were able to see it for what it is. And to just double back to everything that I've talked about in this video, I think that the reason that this person is putting this up is because it is a tactic to try and recruit, in a sense. I think that it's a really sad place when you feel like you have to go on social media and defend yourself to this extent. Let people have their happy meals. Let people share what they want to share on their social media. The fact that a lot of these MLMers think that they should have an opinion on what other people share on social media is wild to me. And the only reason, in my opinion, that I think that they are so obsessed with monetizing everything, we see it, monetizing your scroll. How would you like to monetize your scroll? They're not getting paid for monetizing their scroll. They're getting paid when they sell a product or they recruit a team member. So unless they have a monetized Instagram or whatnot, don't fall for it, you guys. I think that this was a conversation that we definitely needed to have. I know I've mentioned bits and pieces of this in other videos, but I really felt like I wanted to showcase this, talk about it, talk about the tactics, back it up with some facts and data from the FTC, provide that source for you guys so that you can go and look. And yeah. So if you loved the video, give me a thumbs up. I would love for you guys to subscribe, turn the bell notification on if you would like to be notified anytime I go live or drop a new video. Yeah. Thank you guys for being here. And don't join an MLM. And if you have any updates on Elomir, feel free to message me on Instagram. I would love to hear. Okay. Thank you. See you on the next video. Bye, everybody.